What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked. I'm Ryan, and this week on IGN's #1 Xbox show, we are talking about Fortnite and how it may be making Epic worth billions, many billions of dollars, plus EA looking to get into the standalone multiplayer shooter game, perhaps. Turn 10, yanking loot boxes entirely from Forza Motorsport 7, and a lot more. But first, as a reminder, Unlocked has moved. You'll be able to watch it every Tuesday starting at 3 p.m. on IGN. It's unlocked.ign.com is the specific show homepage you could go to get it. So that's right, you can see the show first here on IGN a full 24 hours before you'll see or hear us anywhere else on the usual times and places. So keep that in mind. If you want to hang out with us a little earlier than usual, come on over to IGN. Now, let's get on with things. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, Destin Legary.
Hi, everybody.
To my right. Brandon Tyrell.
Hello.
Beginning the plaid half.
The plaid wave.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, we called each other.
Soon it will take over.
What is the plaid wave? What party does that vote for?
It goes back and forth.
Yeah, it's whichever way the streams cross.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Mark Medina sitting in for Miranda Sanchez.
He's
I'm back.
Yeah.
I haven't been on in a long time.
Great to have you back, Mark.
Good to be back.
Yeah, Miranda's on assignment, so I was happy to tap.
And I don't do anything.
Literally
so.
tap Mark on the shoulder. Say, hey, you want to be on Unlocked this week? And he kindly agreed. So we've got the most beloved Unlock cast member in history with
and I'm here too.
100%, a 100% approval rating from Mark Medina.
It's true.
Never
It's
a
true.
single bad word spoken about this man in the context
ever.
of this podcast.
You must not talk to my mom very often.
Oh.
Jeez. Getting Mark.
Does your mom comment on YouTube?
She follows me on Twitter, just bashes me all day.
At Mark Sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tells me how my videos could be better. I'm like, shh.
I'm just trying to help you, Mark.
That is exactly what she sounds like. It's so weird.
Weird.
That is so weird.
Wait a minute. You sure it's your mom?
Oh my God.
Listen, Mark.
Anyway, let's. Is she from Boston
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. She migrated in the last 30
Mark.
seconds.
Not from Central
Mark, your
California.
videos are wicked horrible. Try harder.
Got to be wicked smart.
Now that we've lost every single listener and viewer we have, let's get on with the rest of the show.
I apologize to whoever's doing the timestamps right now in the YouTube comments.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to start by talking about No Man's Sky. It came out last week on Xbox for the first time. You know, and I find it very interesting that this is a game, obviously, with a ton of baggage. It's I mean, just to put it fairly, I mean, whether you agree with that or not, I mean, whether you agree with the reasons behind the baggage, game's got a ton of baggage. It's been out for 2 years on PlayStation 4 and PC, and there are many opinions on it out there.
Yep.
But what I'm interested in is the fact that it's now come to Xbox 2 years later with it's headlined by this next update, but it's also got every single other. They've done, I think, 3 other major updates to it over the last 2 years. And so I'm interested in it from the perspective of the Xbox owner who's playing it for the first time, who's playing the 2018 version, and that's the No Man's Sky they get. Now, Mark and
Unfortunately, that's none of us.
Well, but
No, I'm
still,
playing on.
No, it's
well,
me.
not for the
That's
first
me
time.
as well.
Yeah.
I never played it, and seeing this new update, obviously now I'm going to get to play it on my One X in my living room, which I'm super pumped by. But it seems like it's better than it was originally.
Well, I should hope so.
So it's interesting that like you and I are going to get a better version than a PC or PS4 player got 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up. So I obviously did a lot of our IGN First preview coverage.
2 IGN Firsts.
Yeah, one of only 2 games to ever do that. And then when it came out, I put about 5-6 hours in, and then just ended up trailing off and getting onto other things. And there were core bits of it I liked. I mean, I liked the idea that it was this super chill.
Yeah.
Like you'll get out of it what you put into it kind of thing.
Scratches that Minecraft itch.
Right, which isn't for everyone, but there were definitely core pieces to it I liked, but I just didn't personally play enough to, fully explore the gameplay systems or everything else it had to offer. But Mark and Destin, I'm curious what you guys think. You guys have been spending time with the next version. So where is it? What do you think of it?
It's a weird story. So me and Destin both played it a lot when it first came out, and we liked it. And then eventually, I think everybody gets to that point where you're like, There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's no actual point. I'm done. And it's okay to play a game for 20 plus hours and then eventually get bored of it. Like I don't
got 20 good hours.
Yeah,
right?
I don't find that offensive to the game that I got bored of it. You get bored of every game. And what's funny is I have not played it since launch. I think Destin's the same. Like we have not touched it. And so that now that Next is out, I'm kind of like, whoa, this is great. And what's funny is the stuff that I'm enjoying isn't new in the next update. It's all new in the Atlas Rises update that came out a year ago. So it's like the base building, the missions, all that stuff, that's all been out. It's funny that multiplayer and third person, I guess, is what actually brought people back, because those are kind of only the new features, is that it's multiplayer now.
Right.
You can play in third person, and that the game is visually overhauled. So like,
yeah, it does look real nice.
yeah,
Not that it looked nice before.
it did, but then there'd be a lot of planets where it's just like real jaggedy, nothing's going on.
Yeah.
The planet that you're seeing right now is a great example of a planet that probably didn't have any of that grass and stuff, and
Yeah, the
now you
textures.
kind of see that stuff on even like the most visually dull planets. You still see
For our audio listeners, he's basically on Mars right now.
yeah.
pretty much.
Mars with grass.
Yeah,
with-
and we're
with
watching
plants.
from a third-person perspective, and the third
Yeah.
person's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Your character looks neat.
Yeah, it's actually animated well. I pretty much can't fly in first person anymore. I love the way the ship looks when you're flying it in third person. But other than that, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's completely different, but I played for 8 hours straight the other day because I was in a group of 4 people, and we're doing multiplayer missions, and you can have this big freighter in the sky now, which is basically a mobile base. And I would definitely say I'm enjoying it a lot more.
Good. Destin?
The strongest old edition is definitely Atlas Rises, like you said, Mark,
Yep.
because it added the story that can pull people along throughout their adventure in No Man's Sky. But don't underestimate the addition of third person and multiplayer. Multiplayer allows you to be in this previously fairly lonely place, playing with your actual friends. You're playing with your wife, right, Mark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a ton. Like we're pretty much exclusively playing together, and it works really well. The only thing that's like weird about it is she joined my game, and so the way the game works is she's now on my save, right? So the things she's accomplishing, but like if she were to build a base and then my game crashed, that base would no longer exist because I didn't save. So it's kind
That
of
is a
weird.
little odd.
Like her game crashed and we were playing in creative mode. I built this like skyscraper. Her game crashed because it's on PS4. It's a little PS4 is kind of
Inconsistent.
the worst version right now. Her game crashed, and she's like, "Oh, it crashed. I'll log back in right now." And I could see my skyscraper just disappearing piece by
no.
piece.
Oh,
It was
no.
like in front of me, just disappearing.
It's like in Back to the Future where the picture starts to disappear.
Callback.
Marty's like,
We had to bring it back to the future. And so then that's another thing I want to reiterate. The Xbox One X version is different than the PS4 version.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because there's actually graphics options, where on the PS4 version, those options aren't there. It got the update on the same day, but those options just aren't there.
Have you played it on the X?
Yes. This is all on the X right now.
Is it similar to the way the other games handle it, where do I want frame rate? Do I want resolution?
Yeah,
Do
so
I
if you
want
go to the
fidelity?
graphics options, both versions have the ability to unlock the frame rate, and then it targets 60. But,
Yeah.
but on the
On a good
X
day.
version, you can choose prioritize graphics, and it runs at a native 4K, or prioritize performance, and it runs at 1440, which was surprising that they were like, hey, we are confident that this game can run in performance mode at a resolution still higher than 1080, where I think the Pro is still stuck to, no matter what it tries to do, 4K, even if you're on a 1080
Yeah.
TV, which is why it has these like performance issues.
Do you know what the target frame rate is on performance at 1440?
It targets 60,
It does
but it's the same with the X.
Does it get there?
It does if you're looking at the sky.
Okay.
It does if you're in space. But there's so much to load, like when you're just running around, that it dips.
I've been playing exclusively on the Xbox One X, and I've actually been streaming to youtube.com/IGN Unlocked. You
Yes.
can watch those stream archives. There's probably about 10 hours of gameplay on there if you just want to watch me just messing around. And it's a really, really chill atmosphere. You just you have to go in with a different mindset. It's not going to be nonstop action, things happening. It's like people are enjoying this. I love the photo mode. The photo mode is my favorite addition to the game. Just constantly, I'm like, I need to take a photo of this. I need to take a photo of this. This planet's
something that you've been able to do that I haven't been able to do is mixer integration.
Yes.
So what's that like?
Yeah, we messed around with the mixer integration on our live stream that we did on IGN. And basically you stream to the mixer account linked to your Xbox account. Mine's the Destin channel, the place where I normally stream. And people can just give you money. They can spawn sentinels and such. And at first, people kind of want to be jerks, right? So they spawn sentinels. They try and damage
Destroy the planet. 1 for yes, 2 for no.
But exactly. But a little bit later, they get tired of that, and they're just like, "Oh, you're fighting space pirates. I want you to succeed, so I'm going to help you out." And like I do, call us to chat. I'm like, "All right, chat. Like, look, I'm probably not going to get through this unless you guys help me." And then they're really willing to. They're willing to help you out. They want to see me get an upgraded.
So cool.
Ship.
Like they type commands, and it affects his game.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just saying like, "Hey, do whatever." Like they're typing something, and then all of a sudden it'll say, "Sentinels are attacking you now."
So
and it's because they sent it, or they can give him money or something.
The mixer chat audience is God, and you have to appease the gods, or anger them.
But basically, like they spawn
a real slippery slope.
So what's happened is I've learned how to deal with the sentinels that they spawn, and I'm like, you guys can spawn the sentinels, but I know how to deal with them. I'm just you want me to go in my spaceship and just fly around for 30 seconds? Yeah, like that's the gameplay.
Or do you actually want to see the game?
Yeah.
So I guess as someone who's never played it, I guess I'm not really understanding. Is each like game that you do in this sort of environment, this mixer environment, is it standalone? Because it sounds like if your chat can just like flush you with money, then you can go off and just like do whatever you want in
sort of. They can only give you about 42,000 credits at a time, which is a lot early game. But as Mark and I know, when you get into that late game, that's nothing.
Eventually, you upgrade your scanner enough to where if you scan a plant, you can get like 100,000 credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I made 10 million in like a few hours.
I mean, you were talking about playing with you and your wife, and like her progress is saved on your account. So what about like her game? Can she still go to the center of the or the universe? Or the galaxy?
So basically what happens is she is helping me with my quests. And then we played for a few hours. And then when she jumped back on her character, her ship was still broken. Even though she had fixed it, her ship was still broken. So like the recommendation,
like a parallel universe.
It's drop into host.
It's drop into host, but then everything you collect, you get to keep. So if she collects minerals and money and stuff like that, she gets to keep. But she's playing in my world. But
Sounds
what's
exactly
cool,
like State of Decay 2. Like the way that multiplayer works.
But what's cool is there's teleporters in the game, which I believe are also from Atlas Rising. And you're no longer beholden to a system anymore. So like you can go to a space station, talk to the teleporter, and I can go to her base. So even I'm like scanning animals and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, I want to complete my progress on your planet. Even if we're not playing together, I can still just teleport to her base and fly around. The early missions has you building like warp drives to leave your home system. I was able to go back to my home system just by teleporting that.
You can also,
and that's really cool.
You can also build a teleporter at your base, and then on the space stations, you just go through the teleport, and you can go right to where your home base is on your favorite planet. If you ever want to move, I mean, you'll lose those resources when you build when you say delete my old base, build this new one. But
it's like quality,
it's a really
quality
cool
of life
system.
stuff.
Yeah, it's really really good. We talked briefly about third person. I think that does a lot to give you a connection with the character that you're playing as and seeing that aspect. I think they tried that with first person, but for some reason third person is working. It seems to be working a lot better.
Yeah.
Now
and they threw in emotes and all that good stuff.
Nice. Yes, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. How is the multiplayer? Because you said something that piqued my ear, which was there's nothing to do really, but you can play with other people. Which was a lot of the same criticisms levied at Sea of Thieves when it came out. Yeah. But I think one of the strongest aspects of Sea of Thieves that like got it is getting it through that hump of like less than a ton of content is the fact that when you're playing with friends, like it is a totally different experience. It is a fun experience to just do nothing together, or do the same stuff over and over and over because hijinks,
Well, luckily they added multiplayer missions.
Yeah.
So now there's regular missions you can do just from any space station, and then you can go on your freighter. And there's missions specifically that are designed to be in a group, which would be like get your wanted level up to like 4 stars or whatever and fight those sentinels. You could do it by yourself, but it's easier with a group. So that kind of stuff kind of gets you together. But what's really fun is like the creative mode, which is pointless in the sense that you're not like progressing because you just get everything for free.
Yeah.
But like me and her just built like this crazy huge base together, and that was fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, because the building is like really good.
I highly recommend. I think they've patched it, but there's been a few bugs when you start in multiplayer where it'll give you your next mission like off planet when your spaceship is broken or off system, like in a different system. That happened to me. I had to restart my entire game.
Yeah.
Like 8-hour save because that happened. I tore through to the point where I was, but just kind of get through the tutorial stuff.
Well, it sounds like away. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they've made some nice quality of life improvements, the multiplayer, the third person, and some content, some visual stuff, and
so to answer your question, if anybody has just they don't have PlayStation PC and they're playing No Man's Sky for the first time, I would say it's definitely worth like the $50 price tag to jump into the game as it is right now. Like I think it's really
glad
cool.
to hear that.
Yeah, and it works really good on that.
I want to pop back into it. I really do. I need to find some time. So yeah, look for your friends out in the great beyond of space. And Mark, in fact, you produced a fun little building. You want to just set this video up that we're going to play real quick?
So
just a minute like video for those of you on audio. I don't know if we're just going to cut this out or how we're working that.
Who knows?
Anyway,
it's basically they were like, the base building is nearly unlimited, so we wanted to see how high we can go, and we went really, really, really high, and then I jumped off.
All right, let's see that.
It's really
Take it away, Mark. All right, good stuff, Mark.
We're back.
You built a really tall thing.
It's really tall. Yeah,
Good
and
job,
so
buddy.
it's funny because I built that, and it's if you watch the video, you see all my failed experiments at the bottom because it was like we're building this tower and like climbing on a ladder, and I don't know if Metal Gear Solid 3. It's just like I'm just like walking on this ladder for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And eventually, the guy who sits next to me, there's got to be a better way. And the guy who sits next to me, Patrick, was like, just try building stairs. I wonder if that would work. And so I just built stairs, and eventually it takes your controls away from you. Then it was discovered a few days later that there's a way to cheat that by basically having someone else build a base and then you build a base up there, and you can eventually just go to space.
Yeah,
Cool.
That was discovered after this.
There's your next project.
Ladder to heaven.
Yeah.
So that's No Man's Sky, available
there it
now
is.
on Xbox One.
Yep.
Let's move on to the news. First up this week, Epic Games. They're a company that makes video games and have been
money.
for a long time and a lot of money.
And other stuff.
Yeah, engines.
They make
Yeah.
Fortnite and other stuff.
But it's crazy to so the story, I guess, before I get into the what I was going to say is that according to Bloomberg, who is a very reputable financial media institution, Bloomberg now says that Epic Games might be worth between $5 and $8 billion. Although it's not known precisely how much Fortnite has fueled that valuation, it's clearly played a major role. And they note here, Bloomberg, Chinese company Tencent, who seems to have a piece of almost literally every major company on the planet, they bought 40% of Epic in 2012 for $330 million. when the entire company was valued at $825 million. That means that Epic has gained up to $7 billion in value in about 6 years. And man, there's a lot to dig into with this, because I'm sort of fascinated by this. The idea, like, we're seeing these media and entertainment powerhouse conglomerates get bigger and bigger now. Disney acquiring most of Fox for, what was it, 41? I think billion dollars.
Some ridiculous
Because how
they bought Star Wars for 4,
yes,
which is insane.
Wait, was it 2?
Or it was 4.
4. Okay, I think you're right.
But they also bought Marvel, so
I think Marvel was 4 as well, wasn't it?
I might have the numbers wrong, but it was relatively 10%.
You're
if
still
not
illustrating
5%.
my point. Yeah, like it's so is Epic Games really worth more than Marvel was? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not speaking ill of Epic at all. It's just, again, it illustrates the crazy escalation that's going on. And if you have something valuable, it's really valuable, because the only people that can afford it are people that can afford, well, guess what? Maybe we're only worth 2, but only.
Yeah.
But if the only people that can afford 2 can afford to pay 5 to 8, so we're worth 5 to 8.
Yeah. It's, I mean, you're worth what someone will pay for
Exactly.
you.
Right.
Yeah, so
It's just crazy because that game is free. Like, it's a free game.
But it generates
skins, man.
It's like what got like
$2 million a day.
right. It's
just via mobile.
I heard
Just
we were talking
mobile?
in the office
That's what the
yesterday.
story was. Yeah.
Holy
It's like 10
crap.
million people play it, or is it 100 million? I don't even.
Oh,
I have no idea how many people play that game.
quite a
I am so Fortnite just baffles me.
Yeah.
Because I think about like when it came out, and it came out to, I mean, I'm gonna say it to
Super
kind of a thud.
middling review.
Right,
I
you
mean,
reviewed it.
I
right?
reviewed it back when, I think our review went live like the day that multiplayer came out.
Pre-Battle Royale.
Yeah,
or a day or
yeah,
two
it
after.
was Save the World.
A crafting game.
Yeah,
And
and,
it was
like
just-
it was a wave-based sort of base building game, and let's just say right now, Fortnite is the way it is because that multiplayer mode, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah.
Because Save the World mode is now an afterthought. I know they still support it, and there's actually some cool events and stuff that go on in there, but you know, Battle Royale is where they make their money on it, and how much money they make.
Yeah, and that's you guys are getting into what I wanted to kind of walk back just to put this into context for people a little bit more. You know, we all know I'm the resident barnacle in the room that's been stuck to the side of the games media ship for the last 16 years. So, for instance, when I started at OXM, when I started doing this, Epic was known at that point. Unreal 1 had come out.
Yeah.
And almost nobody.
And I think
played
Unreal
Fortnite back then.
maybe the first, Unreal. So had Unreal Tournament. So Unreal and Unreal Tournament had come out. But it's like, you go back, you know, it was Jazz Jackrabbit in the Cliff Bleszinski early days, and then
Oh, man.
and then Unreal and Unreal Tournament, and they started licensing Unreal Engine, and that made them a huge
That's
amount
the
of money.
thing,
And
is even if Fortnite somehow gets Thanos snapped out of
Right.
existence, they still print money with Unreal license.
right,
Unreal,
they were an
yeah.
$825 million value company, just largely off of the back of that.
Right.
Now they have since sold Gears of War entirely to Microsoft for that was 2, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Was that 2
That
or
was-
1 or?
It was 4 years.
It was a lot. It was
5 years ago.
It was an 8-figure amount.
Yeah.
I know that much. I guess that probably was 5 years ago already.
It was a while back.
because it was.
What was the last one that Epic did? Was it that Baird?
It would be Judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, Gears of War chapter, and then, you know, a lot of engine stuff, and now, like Fortnite was a game, like you were hinting at there, Brennan. Like, Fortnite was in development for
Well,
years.
this is hilarious because you and I like saw Fortnite. I mean, I guess Destin as well. I've seen Fortnite demoed the entirety of my career at IGN. Like,
Well, it was announced by Cliff Bleszinski, right?
Yeah.
Who then?
Yeah.
well, was it? He did the announcement?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
I think you might be
Like
right.
back in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that game. Like, oh, that looks really fun. And then I saw that game every year.
Is it that
Yeah,
long
it was.
ago?
Yeah,
It was sort of
it was announced 6
2012?
years.
I don't want to call it a joke to like
5 years?
insult it, but it was sort of a running joke at the E3 Judges Week because it would be shown, and we'd sit down with it, the group of E3 judges, and play it
Yeah.
every year at Judges Week. And it got to this point where the year it came out, even Epic acknowledged that. Like, it was Donald Mustard, who at that point had been, Chair had been acquired by Epic, and Donald was made the head of creative for the whole company. And to the E3 judges, he was like, we're not going to make you play it again. It's been here like every year. We're just going to give you a quick presentation, and it's coming out for real in whatever day he said was the actual release date of Fortnite. And we were all
that was the Judges Week that we went to.
It was 2
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and we all everybody had fun and everything, and even then we were like, okay, great. Well, it's finally going to. Even Donald Mustard and Epic would have had no idea of what this would turn into today. So it's what a story of Epic. I mean, I'll tell you, Danny O'Dwyer. I'm sure he'll be if he's not already talking to Epic. He should be hitting up Mark Rain about doing a no clip documentary on Epic, because man, their whole company story is fascinating. I mean, Mark Rain's still there. He's been there forever. Tim Sweeney is the programming genius who wrote Unreal Engine, and he's still there.
Yeah, he delivers their sort of Unreal keynotes at GDC.
But man, I'm no financial expert, but Mark Rain and Tim Sweeney and whoever the rest of the sort of higher ups,
Mr. Fortnite,
Jimmy Fortnite.
I had to say, I would sell tomorrow. Like, sell high.
Really? Right.
Well, why not? Like,
they're making $200 million a day or something.
But those guys, they've been at it for
off mobile. So who knows what they bring in on console?
Like, hey, you've been at it for 20 plus years. You still own 60% of your company. Sell that other 60%.
Seriously, it's
just like go. You could. I mean, they could.
Every day this happens, lightning is continuing to strike.
I know, right? I know. Of course, I'm no financial advisor, so no one should ever listen to me. But I'm just saying, if it were me, I mean, I'm sure. Hopefully, they have fun going to work every day and what have you. But it's got to be tempting to be like, if you see Bloomberg values you at $5 to $8 billion, you got to sit there and go, man, I could just live on a beach the rest of my life.
Pretty much.
Millions in my, like, I could walk away right now. Who knows? But
they can probably do that anyway.
You're
with
right.
Dividends from the.
You're right.
From
But
the
all I'm saying is, don't be surprised if we see some announcement in the next year or so.
Tencent acquires all of Fortnite.
Acquires remaining holdings in Epic Games, and Mark Rain and Tim Sweeney retire.
Didn't Tencent and Bungie also just team up?
Tencent bought, I think, the majority stake in Riot not too long ago. Either 49 or
Riot.
They're expanding.
49 or 51%. It might be totally different now. It's just I'm remembering a headline off the top of my head. Do they also have a stake in Activision too?
They might. I mean,
I think they're working with Bungie to like bring Destiny 2 to China or something.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember this is a story from a few months back, so I'm a little hazy on it, but
that would make sense then, because I know there was a big Call of Duty push in China as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, Tencent's the biggest company in the world, the biggest video game company in the world. Nobody in the West really knows about outside of headlines that say Tencent acquires another studio you've heard of.
And I guess the last thing I wanted to add to this is just let's add a little context for our audience and just sort of have a little fun speculation as well. If Epic is worth $5 to $8 billion, and this isn't to say one's better than the other or anything like that, but in all seriousness, if you look at, because we've heard Valve get talked about before as, if Gabe Newell and the team there sold Valve, it'd be worth a couple $2 billion.
Sure.
Gabe Newell, another person that should just retire. He's so rich.
Yeah, but that's, that was a few years ago. Like, I have to think Valve is worth way more than Epic is.
I don't know. Like, I'm not even going to speculate.
But think about it for real, though. Like, again,
Steam.
I'm not hitting. Yeah, it's Steam, and then the Half-Life IP, even though it's been dormant for years.
Yeah, they could probably sell that.
That's worth.
Yeah.
Because that's got a. It's almost like a rare earth material. Like it's like whatever's better than
like
titanium.
any of their IPs, honestly. If Valve suddenly was just like,
Valve sold Dota.
Hey, we're not gonna. But it's like
Dota,
Portal, Left 4 Dead, Half-Life. Like, they could sell any of those. And
Team Fortress is its own thing.
Team Fortress. Yeah. People would love to have any of those.
Yeah. Plus Steam, which is the backbone of
Steam
PC
itself,
gaming.
That's what's funny is you look at the big companies that are valued the highest amongst the big game development companies. You're talking Fortnite has a service and a platform. Valve has a platform. Activision Blizzard, the umbrella company that owns Activision and Blizzard, has Battle.net, right?
Yep. I was going to bring up Blizzard as well as another one that's could be worth even more than Epic is based on.
Yeah. Well, World of Warcraft alone is.
I mean, it's still
subscriptions.
Kills. Yeah.
It's so many people
StarCraft,
still play
Overwatch,
that game.
Diablo. I mean, it's absurd.
Overwatch. Yeah,
it's absurd what's going on over there.
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
on the Activision. I'm just talking about the Blizzard.
Oh, I see.
Company.
Okay,
just
I know, but
Blizzard
it's
stuff.
so cool now because if you log into the Blizzard launcher, you see Call of Duty on the list.
Destiny 2 was that exclusively on Battle.net
On
for
PC?
PC?
That's it. Yep.
It's always been exclusively on Battle.net.
Yeah. You see all of their games, and then you see it's like they have their like other tab, and it's Destiny 2 and Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it just goes to show, the insane escalation of the value of, like, for anybody. I can't imagine there's anybody in your life, and I'm speaking to the audience, that still thinks video games are a toy or a joke, because video games have been a serious, high profile, lucrative industry for many years now. But
more than the movie industry and the music industry combined.
Well,
but this
you look at
is-
something like GTA 5, which is like the single-handed most like profitable piece of entertainment ever.
There's another one. I mean, Rockstar is owned by Take-Two. What's Rockstar alone worth?
Yeah.
Just the Red Dead's
Grand
gonna be a
Theft
monster.
Auto. Yeah.
You know, and then there's a few other little IP like Midnight Club. They're not doing it, but just the Grand Theft Auto IP alone would make Rockstar worth.
The game came came out in 2013, and it still tops the chart.
I'll bet Rockstar, if Take-Two were to sell off the Rockstar and its IPs, $10 billion.
You think?
$10 billion.
It'd be interesting to see what the current tally is for Grand Theft Auto 5. Its earnings.
I mean, it's still in the top 10 of the MPD every month.
And GTA Online
5 years
just
later.
like Skyrim.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, anyway, our industry is alive and thriving, particularly for the biggest fish in that sea.
Yeah.
EA, speaking of big companies, they are looking at the standalone multiplayer shooter space.
Good.
During their Q1 investor call, EA's their CFO, Blake Jorgensen, was asked if Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode, which is being called Battlefield Royale, is being considered to be spun off into its own separate free-to-play product, similar to a PUBG or a Fortnite kind of thing.
Yep.
And he said Battlefield Royale was no different than any other mode in Battlefield 5. However, he implied that a separate standalone battle shooter from EA is a possibility. He says, quote, "I would say we're interested in possibly experimenting with an essentially free-to-play standalone game that might be in a shooter genre or another genre, but I don't think that's how we're looking at the Battlefield stuff right now. But you'll see more to come on that in the coming
Didn't they already
months and
do
years."
that? Yeah, it was Battlefield Heroes, that cartoony, web-based.
Probably ahead of its time in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was team deathmatch.
You're right.
I think. God, it's been years.
No, you're right. I forgot about it until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think not doing a Battlefield Royale spinoff is actually kind of a miss for them from a business standpoint. Look at how well it's worked for Fortnite. Why wouldn't you want that revenue?
Yep.
You know?
And they didn't attach anything to it. It's just Battlefield Royale. It's the same with Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty Blackout. Like, keep these things constant.
He seems so dismissive in this quote. I'm just surprised. I'm like, that's very like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep Battlefield 5 like that. I think that'll make fans happy, but it doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you be interested in this from a business perspective?
Yeah, I mean, when you see that Fortnite cash.
Yeah, our previous story, right?
Basis, yeah.
Well, and they're clearly chasing it anyways because they're making Battlefield Royale. Like they're clearly they're aware of the Battle Royale, craze. So why make that and then be like, yeah, but we're also doing something else, possibly Battle Royale.
Why not adapt the business model, right? That's the only thing
make
I'm
it.
saying.
People love Battlefield.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're looking at it as they're adding the Battle Royale mode into Battlefield because it's so hot right now, that Battle Royale, so hot. But on the long term, is that going to pull players away from Fortnite? Is that going to pull players away from PUBG? the players that don't play the culling too. Like those battle royale audiences like are there, and they do like follow trends.
Culling 2 got shut down.
They follow what's hot. It's coming back. Culling 1 is coming back.
Yeah, it is.
They follow what's hot, but like Battlefield players play Battlefield for Battlefield, right? So you have to either convince Battlefield players that this new mode is better than what they've already been experiencing, or you have to convince Fortnite and PUBG players that Battlefield can do it better than your games. Whereas I think if you create a standalone multiplayer shooter,
I think the secret sauce that Fortnite has though is that it's just cartoony enough to run on everybody's computers, just like World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Any computer can play that game, and B, parents look at it and
Universal
it looks
appeal.
silly. Where if you continue to make Call of Duty,
it's got fun
Battlefield,
dances and
Battlefield, all that stuff, they just look like war shooters.
Right.
That's what you look at PUBG and it's like, oh, it's gritty and guns. But like, Fortnite is
like, and not to say battle royales are targeting the lowest common denominator, but a free to play game makes its money by having players. And so if you target, the 9 to 13-year-old demographic and their parents are cool with them playing it, like that's a huge market. And if you can play it on your phone, that's an even bigger market. So it makes sense that EA would look at some sort of standalone thing that's outside of
right, something not as gritty as Battlefield.
Yeah. Let me throw one other idea out and just see what you guys think of it. This just popped into my head as you were talking. But what about the idea that EA may be hesitant to spin off Battlefield into a standalone Battlefield Royale thing, because if that's out there and thriving, does that potentially kill the $60 every 2 years Battlefield? I guess there's whatever, I don't know which way the scales go there financially. Like they'll go whichever way earns them the most money.
Right.
But like if people are just hooked on that, like, okay, well, is that enough to outweigh like undercutting yourself
and
on the
taking
Battlefield
development resources from this game that's doing well to be like, hey guys, now we're going to make Battlefield 6.
Right. Because, let's be honest, as much as barnacles like me are clamoring for a high-quality single-player experience, that's not what people are generally buying Battlefield for.
Right.
Well, there's a few things going on here. First of all, the conversation about PUBG versus Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite's bigger, but PUBG is no like small shooter. Tons of people still play that, and you have to pay for it to play it. It's not free to play. Battlefield could adopt that model theoretically, but online, all you see is that Fortnite is hugely successful. And when you compare PUBG to that, they're like, oh, PUBG's failing or PUBG's dying, which is not true at all. They're still a $1 million company,
not in the
raking
spotlight.
in the money, not in the spotlight. They have a mobile version. They are on 2 platforms. They're on Xbox and they're on PC, and it's doing quite well. Like, it's not doing poorly. So again, my whole question is like, why would Jorgensen be so dismissive? Why not do a $20 version where you just do the Battle Royale mode and then like loop it in with the campaign experience of Battlefield? There's ways to do this correctly that,
and I'm sure they're
not
going to do. I'm sure they're looking at all of them.
Apparently not.
I mean,
Battlefield.
they've got a room full of people that are smarter than we'll ever be about this kind of thing. But like, is that something that it needs? Really, I think is the question. Like, can they look at it as, can we make more money doing this than we're making right now? And if the answer is yes, they'll do it.
Yep.
I think just one more thing to close this out. I think what Fortnite also gains is not even a game feature. It's the fact that like Twitch is so hot right now, and the most subscribed, followed person on Twitch plays Fortnite.
True.
And if he were to play Battlefield Royale,
he did play Battlefield.
Well, it's a chicken or an egg thing.
Right, is
Fortnite
Fortnite
huge
famous
because of
Fortnite's
Ninja,
good,
or is Ninja?
Exactly. And so it's like if Ninja left and took his near 10 million followers and was like, you know what, Call of Duty Blackout's really cool. That's what I'm playing now. All of a sudden, Twitch is like, do whatever you want. We'll start putting Call of Duty, on the front page, and that is always number one. Because if you look at Fortnite's numbers, especially when PUBG was bigger than Fortnite, PUBG would be ahead unless Ninja was on. Then you would look at the player count, and it's like, 160,000 people are watching, and 120 of them are watching just Ninja.
Right.
So that's kind of a weird dynamic to look at things too.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's free to play. So like if Ninja went over and started playing a game that had a barrier to entry of $20, $40, $60.
But people can watch him play and be like, oh, now I can play. Now I can Twitch stream.
Yep.
And I don't have to spend any money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I guess the one other thing too is, before, I know EA is doesn't have the most sterling reputation with gamers these days, but so before you jump on them for they're just blindly following a trend, thinking about making a standalone multiplayer shooter. Every major publisher is having these conversations behind closed doors. EA is just being honest about it.
Except for 343, apparently.
Well, yeah, we went over that.
The only BR we're interested in is the battle rifle.
Battle rifle. I love it.
Sorry, that's a good.
Needs to go
only
on
because
needs to go on a t-shirt.
The battle rifle is so good.
You can make that shirt. Just don't put.
I'm not going to put that
logos
much
or
effort
anything
into
on
it. Yeah,
that's fine.
Officially licensed product of 343 Industries, Microsoft Corporation.
All right, quickly. Turn 10, makers of Forza Motorsport.
Also making a battle royale. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cars.
Car Royale. They are removing loot boxes entirely from Forza Motorsport 7. They're removing the prize crates, which are their version of free loot crates from Forza Motorsport 7, coming up at the end of the year. Additionally, Turn 10 will not be bringing paid tokens, which were included in previous Forza games, to either Motorsport 7 or, for those of you interested in Forza Horizon 4 coming out this October. Alan Hartman, the studio head there, says, quote, "While we've never charged money for prize crates in Forza Motorsport 7, their presence in the game has continued to be a source of controversy. The overwhelming feedback has been that this system feels out of place in the game. After careful consideration, we have decided to completely remove prize crates from Forza Motorsport 7. So gamers once again speaking loudly here and affecting change in the games and franchises that they care about.
This is so weird. I feel like just simply doing something like, especially if they're not selling them, just don't call them loot crates then. It sounds like it's just a bad name for what it is. Especially since you don't pay for
it. That term,
if they're just prize crates,
that term has a stink on it.
So it's like, if it's just progression, don't call it
you get them for progression, but that they incentivize you to buy them with real money, and the way that they were implemented.
I thought it said it doesn't sell them. It does?
There is an option to purchase these with Forza Motorsport 7.
Oh, it's not
the community.
With Forza bucks or with real bucks?
I don't remember because I don't support this in any way. Like, I haven't bought a single microtransaction with Destiny 2, and I just decided I'm not going to support this system in gaming anymore.
Sure.
So,
speaking with your wallet.
Exactly. Yep. And that's what I encourage people to do. And it sounds like they did with Forza Motorsport 7. And I'm really glad the Forza team is getting rid of this.
And more importantly, so you can just look forward to this not being in Forza Horizon 4 at all, which is a game we're super jazzed about because
I am so excited for Forza Horizon 7.
It's so
or not 7, Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah. My goodness, it looks amazing again.
Yeah, I really appreciate this for one reason, because it says it's not at the heart of what it was intended to be. I'm paraphrasing the quote. But I don't really have a problem with microtransactions or purchases. I don't like when they're random. When you have to spend $5 and you could get that purple.
When it's a lottery.
That that epic purple that everyone wants.
Yeah.
What I do appreciate is when developers look at microtransactions in their games, fundamentally going against the intended play of the game. Yeah. Look at it's Monolith with Shadow of War.
Yeah.
You know, being able to buy your orcs, your super awesome orcs, to go in and fight with you or lead your army fundamentally changes the structure of what they wanted, which was to encounter those and create like emergent stories with randomized, procedurally generated orcs out in the field. So getting rid of loot boxes was as much to appease people who thought it was gross as it was to restore sort of the intended emergent storytelling in that.
It'd be like being able to buy credits in No Man's Sky. The only thing you do in that game is get credits. So it's like, why?
Do you like money? Do you want more money?
The only game that I've like I didn't mind spending money on, and that I've pretty much only spent money on, was Pokemon Go, because I played it so much. And when I say I probably spent like maybe $25, and it was just because we'd meet in San Francisco, and then we'd walk around, and then it's like, oh, I'm out of Pokeballs, and so I'd spend. But it's not the lottery; I'm spending $1 on a pack of 50 Pokeballs.
Yeah,
it's like,
you know what you get.
Pokeballs,
whatever. And I didn't mind because I'd played the game so much. And it was a free game that I'm like, okay, fine, here's $10.
Right, you got a lot out of it.
Yeah, I don't mind spending $10 on something I played for 50 hours.
I was the exact same way with Smite. I had 3,000 matches in that game. Smite was an entertainment platform for me. And when I was playing it for 3 or 4 hours a night, I wasn't going to see movies. I wasn't buying other video games. You know, like this is my entertainment outlet, and I don't mind like kicking some money and
Supporting
so much money on that game.
the developers.
Yes, I mean, you know, it's when you're not spending that money on other things, I don't mind dropping it, whether or not I'm supporting the developers or I'm just purchasing my own entertainment.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Exactly right. Finally, this week, quick note, NHL 19 for you hockey fans out there. There's an open beta running on Xbox One right now. It ends on August 2nd, so depending on when you're hearing the show this week, jump on there and play if you're interested.
Call of Duty's beta starts in a couple days.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for noting that. Yeah, that's
We'll have more
on
on that.
Xbox, or is that the
Oh,
PS4
this may
gets
just
it
be
first?
so it's PlayStation this weekend and then next
That's what it
weekend,
was. I think that's
it's PlayStation and Xbox.
which I think I had noted. We noted on last week's show, maybe I'm not sure, but anyway,
we'll have more
thank you for
details on that coming
keeping that on my radar. Nevertheless, okay, marketplace report. I'm gonna go Mark Medina's way. Mark, I gave you a 2-page, 3-page
boy.
printout. There's a lot of games coming out on Xbox this week.
there?
Can you just list them for us?
Sure.
What's on the way?
Before we jump into this, because it's not going to be on that list, Sea of Thieves Cursed
Thieves.
Sales update is out today.
Oh yeah.
You can fight skeleton galleons, and there's a new 3-person ship. If
Yes.
you have 2 homies and not a third, then you can now have a ship and fully crew it out. So
What is
So-
the Brigantine?
the
or-
Brigantine,
Yeah.
Your homework is to play that, and we'll get your impressions next week.
as soon as I get a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
You got a
skelly,
week.
some
You got
skelly
1 week.
boys.
All right, take it away, Mark. What's out there?
Okay.
Not off to a good start if the game name's just making you chuckle.
I was reading the top where it's like,
Oh,
hi
yeah,
there.
I see this.
Just go.
It's like, wait,
There's
am
too
I-
many games.
Am I supposed to read that?
just
No,
with
8 to Glory,
Okay.
Castaway Paradise on July 31st. These are all
Sounds like
July
Jimmy
31st.
Buffett the game.
Forsaken Remastered.
Okay.
Not Destiny.
8 to Glory is a bull riding game. 8 seconds.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it sure is. I just read the thing. Gene Rain. Okay.
Yep.
Not a good name.
Maximum Football 2018.
When you like your football,
To the
another notch up.
to the maximum. The Sims Cat and Dogs expansion.
Yeah.
On board.
Vigor. Hashtag War Games or number sign War
don't-
Games.
Don't do that. Don't do
It
that.
says hash.
I'm old
I'm not
enough to
talking. I'm
remember.
not
Is it
talking
like-
to you.
Like tic-tac-toe?
Just don't tic-tac-toe War
Pound
Games.
sign war game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pound sign War Games.
Exactly.
The Z-Axis. One More Dungeon. These are all
This
games.
one, I'm actually interested in that one as a fantasy.
Road
dungeon
to
nerd.
Valhalla.
That is a like turn the table kind of game where the ball goes
Monkey
around.
ball?
And there's lasers, so just don't get your balls fried.
Oh, yeah. So it's like Marble Madness.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is like
Our
Monkey Ball.
ball madness.
Nailed it.
Marble
Why they pay him
Hall.
the big bucks?
That's State of Anarchy, Master of Mayhem,
Okay.
Armored Warfare. I've not heard of most of these. 1979 Revolution.
So that's
Black Friday.
That's a cool.
that's
one.
a really interesting game. Yeah, that's probably the one on this list.
Oh yeah, I do know that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dolings Arcade. Sure. Jump Gunners. Super Dungeon Tactics.
Check that out.
Zasmo Arcade Pack.
Okay.
That's
If
that.
these games are good, their names are not helping their cause for the most part.
Yeah.
They're probably smaller developers, just like
this
trying.
This is the idea at Xbox.
yeah.
A lot
they're all
of these are
wired,
idea at
yeah.
Xbox.
Made by like 3 guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Or different. Very-
anyway.
Couple gals making a game, putting it out there.
Brandon, what are the games with gold this month?
Road to Valhalla. No, I'm just kidding. So your games with gold for August are one of Ryan's favorites, Forza Horizon 2. You can get that
South of France.
Today's the 1st, right?
Well,
No.
by the time people hear this,
Yeah, you can get that August 1st to the 31st on Xbox One, so all month long for that one. You also can get For Honor, which is a cool fighting game you've probably heard of by now, but that starts in 2 weeks, so August 16th, going through to September 15th. So
That's like another game that I think they're giving it away because It's like to the point where that game is like a games of service now. It's like
Yeah.
the more people that just have For Honor, the more money they'll make by not trying to sell the game, by just getting them in and playing it
games
as
of
a
service. Yeah. I mean, they have a really cool approach that they also took with Rainbow Six Siege. When that game came out, it didn't have the best first year, and now it is just tuned and refined. Kudos to Ubisoft. They know how to support their competitive games afterwards. Back to the games, we have Dead Space 3 from August 1st to August 15th on 360 and X1. And finally, we have Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two, from August 16th to August 31st.
It's a solid month, man. There's some good titles
On 360 and X1 as well. Yeah.
These are all really good.
Yeah. I actually never played Dead Space 3, so I'm curious. Love 2.
Really?
Play
Yeah,
3.
everybody loves 2.
Yeah.
3's a game. People like it. Most people
really?
like it.
Yeah, I think it's not the strongest.
My favorite one's
Definitely
the
a
first
video
one. The second one's good, and then the third one's my least favorite.
Do you guys remember the video that Mitch Dyer and Gallegos did about space?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was that 3?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go
think
check
so.
that out on IGN. It's stupid, but really funny.
Just Google space.
Yeah. With
Anyway.
what, 11 A's? I want to say.
All right, we're moving towards the end of the show here. It's Unlock Block Trivia time. Now, Miranda, I feel bad that she's not here, except that she's trying to throw the competition anyway.
Part of her plan.
Yeah, she's trying to shoot the moon.
So,
Oh my God, does Mark have a point?
How many points do I
see.
have?
let me check. You're not on the board yet
What?
this year, my friend. Let's see if we can
Blast
change
them.
that.
My goal's
We've
to tie
got-
with Mark.
Yeah, we've got Brandon at 9, right behind the Ghost of Alana at 10, Destin at 1. My
How's
goodness.
it like being ahead by default?
So I wasn't a member of Unlocked until like 3 months ago, so I'm doing okay.
So there you go. There's our score. And Miranda at 6. Let's hear from Justin Perez from Camarillo, California. This is a good question. He asks, in Lost Planet 2, there was DLC with basically crossover DLC from another Microsoft franchise. What franchise was that? What IP showed up in DLC for Lost Planet 2? Was it Gears of War, Halo, Crackdown, or Perfect Dark? Does anybody know this one?
Crap.
I haven't.
I don't know
I
it, but I
played
guess.
Lost Planet
Yeah.
2, and I don't know this.
Brandon, I'm going to go to you first.
Thanks. Jeez.
And I'm going to say whatever Brandon says.
That's your guess.
C, Crackdown, final answer.
All right.
Never mind. I'm going to go with
Mark?
I'm going to go with
Probably smart.
Gears of
Okay.
War.
Going Gears,
Yeah.
Crackdown.
Pretty sure it's not Halo. I was gonna go Gears also A.
Okay.
Third person.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys. It was Gears.
Yay.
Correct on that one. Good stuff. That brings it gets Destin up to 2, trying to crawl out of the hole into get respectable.
I broke the streak of bad guesses.
Getting it
Finally.
4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And we've got Mark on the board. I love it.
Yay.
All right, if you want to try to stump the panel, please send your Xbox trivia question to unlocked@ign.com. Please include 4 multiple choice answers and note the correct answer in your email. We'll play again next week. That about wraps it up for us, gents. Mark,
Yes.
want to promote yourself, your Twitter, your
According to
whatever?
this, my Twitter is @HavocRose.
Yes.
Follow me on there.
Loves anime.
Love it. Love it so much. No, I at Mark_Medina. It's a weird time of year right now, where it's like the only thing on the horizon would be Spider-Man, and that's still a ways away. So it's just we're kind of just playing smaller games and Sea of Thieves DLC, and
Yeah.
kind of looking back at older games right now. So I'm just I played a train game and I tweeted about it, so it's really funny.
Train simulator?
Yeah,
Train simulator?
yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
It was fun learning to drive the train. Like I was like, this is kind of cool.
You
When
like-
the train started moving, I was like, here we go. I'm doing this.
Now, is it all like levers and
Yeah, like you sit in there
All
and
four of
then
them.
you control the
Stop,
thing.
though.
Some guy in the comments is like, I've driven a train before, and like the game only lets you control one lever at a time. And I can tell you, sometimes you have to multitask.
sometimes I have to pull 2.
Blew my mind.
Yeah. I've always wondered how like our public transit system is BART. I've always wondered how BARTs work. Is it
Bart
like
It's
Simulator.
like a big lever.
Is it
I
like-
think it's literally.
is
no,
it
no,
like
I think
green
it's a
button,
lever.
red button?
It's all automated.
Yeah.
If you go up there and you watch them, they literally push a button and then they're out the window.
Yeah.
And you see it just doing it all on its own.
Oh, they have a button to open and close the doors too.
Oh.
Because there's one guy
Yeah,
every
to chop
morning,
people in half.
Every morning he sees me running late and he presses the button and the doors close right in my face.
Dude, that happens.
And I look at him. We make eye contact every morning. I'm like,
He's like, bye, Brent.
tomorrow.
You got to grease the palm a little bit.
I guess
That's
bribe. Are they
Bribe
government?
the
Are they government employees?
I think so. Yeah.
Nah,
Bart,
I'm not gonna do
Bart
that.
is, yeah, it's city.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to bribe a government employee to get me on the train on time.
Anyway, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm Brandon Tyrell. That's my. Sorry, that totally derailed my train of thought. I'm Brandon
Francisco's
Tyrell.
worst
That's
place.
my name and my Twitter handle. You can find me on there, tweeting sometimes. And like Mark said, it's kind of a slow time of year. Right now, I'm playing The Witcher 3 with my girlfriend, and it is real fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I just discovered The Witcher 3's cinematic trailers. Did you guys ever watch those? Last night. They are phenomenal.
Cool.
So go watch those. But that's it for me. Nothing else I want to plug. So bye.
Destin.
Yeah, so there was actually just a big update to Destiny release, so I'm going to be probably streaming that tonight over at youtube.com/fireteamchat. Also, be sure to check out fireteamchat.ign.com to watch our Destiny show, should you be interested in the upcoming Forsaken or the updates leading up to that expansion. And you can follow me on Twitter at DestinLeGary.
Fantastic. I want to mention, I did say this last week, but always want to give a little love to IGN Unfiltered, my little passion project here at IGN. Every month I sit down one-on-one for like an hour to an hour and a half with a particularly notable, awesome person in the games industry and just walk through their career. I love sort of finding out where people came from and how they got where they are. Sissy Jones is my guest for the month of July. She is a wonderful voice actress. You know her as Delilah in Firewatch. She's also playing Fury in the upcoming Darksiders 3, which happens to be our IGN first game for this month. We've been doing a ton of coverage all month long there. And I've actually got to go home. I forgot that I am shooting another Unfiltered this afternoon. Got to go home and get my dress shirt and tie, which really sucked because
Good luck, Ryan.
because I have a lot to do today.
Hey,
Oh,
welcome
no.
to IGN Unfiltered. Do you like Portal?
Yeah, it's an Aperture Science shirt.
Is it Gabe
Anyway.
Newell?
Yeah, that
That would be really appropriate.
be
Yeah,
At
that'd be
least I
really
could
appropriate.
not have to go home
Make
and
it work.
change, but
Just bring a
anyway.
shirt here and put it in the
Just grab,
My
I
God.
need to do that.
My God, we have 8 seconds left.
just grab in and
Anyway.
out on the way out, so you'll be fine.
It's fine. You can follow me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. And that will wrap it up for Unlocked 355. Can't even keep track of them anymore. For Mark, Brandon, and Destin, I'm Ryan. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.